Not only does your abs absolutely enhance your physique, but it also plays a massive part in strength and functionality as well. So here's 5 exercises I recommend you do to look ripped and increase core strength. Let's go. Number 1 is the cable crunch. Now this is a really good exercise because you can actually start loading your abs, and it's really easy to set up as well. It's cool because it also provides a really good stretch, especially when that cable is pulled up, and it enables a full contraction of the abs, and you've got resistance applied all the way through the movement. So at the top of the rep, your abs are going to be stretched by that cable, and even at the bottom when you're crunching, you've also got that resistance applied. So it's a really good tool to build a hypertrophy of the abs, build big thick abs. Okay, now rep range for this, I'd recommend between 10 and 20, and obviously if you want to go heavier, you drop the reps, and if you want to go lighter, you can increase the reps. And another really important cue in training abs, and this pretty much applies to most crunching movements, if not all of them, is to breathe out when you're crunching your abs. So if you're doing your cable crunch, breathe out fully, and just now as you do it, you'll feel your abs contract that extra 5%, and that's huge in terms of actually learning how to train your core properly. So number 2 is toes to bar. Now this is a really good exercise to build that stability for your core, right? Now this includes variations like hanging leg raises or knee raises, so you can do those at the start and build them up till you can get to the point where you can do those toes to bar, right? The cool thing with this is you'll be able to realize if you have strong core muscles or not, because if you have weak stability and weak core muscles, what you'll find is your body will be swinging all over the place. But if you can keep your body still and still get your feet or toes up to the bar, then you're in a good position with core strength. This is a really functional movement, so you'll find doing this exercise is going to help you with your pull-ups, going to help you with your dips, it's going to help you with your squats, your deadlifts, absolutely everything, right? So it's a killer exercise, and because it is quite tough, I don't recommend doing loads and loads of reps. Between 5 and 12 is enough for this one, to be honest with you. Number 3 is a plank or some sort of variation of a plank. Now this is one of the best exercises for core stabilization. So it teaches you to tense your abs properly and maintain your body's alignment, because you don't want your ass to basically dip down when you're in that plank position. So you're really strengthening that, and not just for 1-2 reps, for an extended duration of time. So you're basically increasing that time and attention that your core is under. Now this is really cool to help you brace. So if you've probably seen people lift weights that are heavy before, you'll see they'll go like this, and then they breathe and they tense, and then they push up, right? If you're doing a squat or like a heavy bench press or something. So this is really good to help you understand how that works. So when you're in that brace position, your core is strong. It's basically like a can filled with air, and that air basically helps you move that weight up. So it's good for you to understand how that works, so when you go to the exercises that you need to perform properly, then it helps for you to do that. Now, in terms of time, I'd aim for 30 seconds to a minute and slowly increase that plank duration. And if it's too easy for you, for example, if you're doing 1 minute 30, then you get a 5 kg plate, whack it on your back, and you can do it like that as well. Cool. Number 4 is a cable wood chop. Now this is a lovely exercise because it's super easy to set up, and it allows for that progressive overload nicely, because all you need to do is just increase the weight of that pin. Now this is starting to target your obliques, right? And it works your abs across a different plane of motion, because now you're rotating the trunk. So a lot of the exercise that we mentioned earlier is basically going forwards like this, but now you're going across the body. It's absolute killer exercises for sports. Like if you think about it, Muay Thai, boxing, football, rugby, tennis, badminton, whatever you're doing, you need that twist, you need that power coming from your trunk. So practicing this exercise is killer for that, right? And it's cool because you can switch it up as well, so you can go high to low or low to high, and you can change up the angles and make the variations a little bit more interesting, so you can find that sweet spot for you. Cool. For rep range with the cable wood chop, I would recommend anywhere from 10 to 20, sometimes even 20 plus, but I don't think you need to go that much in terms of reps, because then it means the weight may be too light, right? This is a bit tricky to set up sometimes, because you might find yourself pulling back to the cable, but that's where you need to tense your core, right? Make sure your core is engaged throughout the whole movement, so your shoulders are not just moving the thing up and down, right? Number 5 is Russian twist. Now this is another really good exercise for that rotational movement. Now This is sick because you can add the extra challenge of keeping your feet off the floor as well. Now when your feet are off the floor, your lower abs are more engaged too, because now it has to work harder, and at the same time you're doing your rotations, which is targeting your obliques. So it's basically a double whammy, right? Now this is a lovely exercise for supersets or circuits because it's really easy to perform. So for example, if you're doing a superset, you can do your toaster bar, then come downstairs, just come to the floor and get like a 3 kg, 4 kg and do your Russian twist, for example, 45 seconds. And that will absolutely blast your abs, right? And now you've worked it from a functionality perspective because you're doing that, and then you're also getting a lot of reps and time and attention as well for your core. So that's nice. Another really good way of utilizing it is within circuits. So if you're short on time and you need to blast through a quick workout, just whack it in the circuit. So you can do like goblet squats, press ups, pull ups, dips, and then do some Russian twists. Really, really easy to implement, right? Because all you need is a dumbbell, and even if you don't have a dumbbell, just use your hands and do it like that. With the rep range for this, I'd recommend between 15 to 20, or you can use a timer. Like, I wouldn't recommend going really heavy on this because we've got our other exercises that we can load up on. Cool. Now some additional tips for you. I would recommend, number one, that you train abs 2 or even 3 times a week, because if you think about it, our abs are basically keeping us upright all day, every day. So just once a week, I don't think personally is enough, because I feel like they recover quite quick, so you may as well hit them again. Next is to definitely include weighted exercise. You've got to imagine your core is just like every other muscle. So just doing like 10 sit-ups and calling it a day isn't gonna build that thick, blocky abs, right? The same way you're gonna go to do a bench press, you're not just gonna do the bar forever. You're gonna stack the weight up and you're gonna build them progressively overload. That's the same mentality I want you to have for your abs, right? So use exercises like the cable crunch, the cable wood chop, even doing decline sit-ups with weights. I didn't mention it on here, but that's also another good exercise. Next is, if abs are a priority for you, then do them first, because I always just leave them to the end, right? And half the time I don't even do them because I'm just tired anyway, right? But what you can do, and what I've sort of done recently is kind of nice, is do your warm-up, so maybe 5-10 minutes, doing your jogs or treadmill or whatever, then just do your ab routine straight away. So maybe pick 1 or 2 exercises and just blast them out. What you'll find is your body warms up quite well. So when you start your session, you're low-key warmed up a little bit more, and you know where your core is, which is pretty much vital for almost every exercise that you're doing. Cool. So number 4 question I get asked a lot is, should you train abs during a bulk? And my answer is absolutely. Full send it during a bulk, because that's your body's time to build muscle, because you're getting enough nutrition in, right? So when you've got that nutrition in, use it to really build up your strength on your core and build up the muscle size on your core as well, because then when you come to cutting, your life is way easier, because when you're shredding that fat off, your abs are already built up, it's already ready, so you don't need to basically shred and then try to build the abs up after that, right? So you're basically making life harder for yourself. So definitely hit them hard while on a bulk. But yeah, that's it. Goodbye.